You're listening to The Real Short Box, a comic book podcast made for geeks by geeks.
Hello out there, YouTube land. Welcome to The Real Short Box. And of course, not just YouTube, but also Spotify, Spreaker, Apple, Google Play, all these other available channels and means to reach us and listen to our beautiful and lovely and sanctified voices. You know, let me introduce you real quick to the co-hosts. Here is Donald. There is Professor Turner. And of course, the lovely top 10 Polynesian dancer of the West Coast, Miss Bonnie. How are all of you?
Sleepy after that intro.
Yeah,
wow,
goddamn.
Bonnie, was it that boring? Was that boring, Bonnie?
Your energy was a little.
Oh, come on, Bonnie. You're supposed look, I sold you some money to make me look good.
Oh. Did you?
Did you?
I didn't get any money.
Check your phone. I sent like $100.
That's a hell of a lot of money to pay just to look good for something.
I think you sent it to another Bonnie.
Oh no, I gotta check my bank account again. Darn it.
You know, that's happened before. You ever sent money to the wrong person before?
Oh boy, that sucks.
Thankfully, I have not.
I did. I sent to my brother instead of my dad once.
Oh boy.
Oh, you never saw it again. Well, it was like free money.
Free money. But you know what is free tonight or today, wherever you are?
Our knowledge.
Is knowledge about a particular brand new Superman movie coming out in 2025. Am I right?
You're right. Yes.
Directed by Mr. James Gunn. A man known for...
Did you say Dunn?
Did I say Dunn?
I'm done.
I'm sorry, James Gunn. I said James Gunn. Oh my goodness, I said James Gunn. James Gunn.
What?
Excuse me, James Gunn.
Yeah, we're very knowledgeable people.
Listen to us, we're experts.
Known for Guardians of the Galaxy, those 3 movies back in the MCU, and of course, that very first movie that was shot at a former favorite comic book shop that used to exist that we miss, Super.
All right. Okay. Let me just say this right now. His last name is really Corn Sweat.
No, it can't be.
No, it's not Corn Sweat.
No, that doesn't make sense.
Corn Sweet.
Are you trying to talk about the actor who's playing the new Superman?
Yeah. This
David
doppelganger looking motherfucker.
David Corn Sweat. And you know what's good? He's actually the proper height of Superman. He's 6'4".
Oh, thank God. And he's like 20 pounds. Motherfucker needs to put on some weight.
Patience.
Get to it.
His predecessor did. His predecessor wasn't that big before he started working out.
Who's the guy? Okay, so let's talk casting. Let's talk.
Yes.
First of all, okay, so James Gunn, he gets put in charge of the DC universe, right?
Along with
DC's tired of shitting the bed. Like, they've shit the bed so much they have a river of shit through it, and Willy Wonka is floating on a boat going past, and is like, "Is this chocolate?" And they're like, "No, don't try it." And he's like, "Should I?" That's what's happening.
The land of imagination.
Yeah, exactly. So Gunn gets put in charge of this shit show, and he's like, "Okay, but we're gonna do it the Gunn way." And they're like, "Oh, what's the Gunn way?" And he's like, "Let me show you." And then he comes out with Suicide Squad, and it tanks. It just shits the bed. But it's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody that watched it loved it, and those that didn't, well, they suck at life. So you have this movie that comes out, and everybody's like, okay, so this is actually really solid film. This is actually a really good movie. Like, he knows what he's doing. Like, he can do good shit. And then they look at Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and they're like, oh, okay, yeah, we definitely chose correctly. Yeah, he did Guardians. Like, lots of emotion, lots of love, closed it out perfectly. Yeah, that's James Gunn. Okay, great. Okay, and then he starts casting, and he casts a guy with the last name of Corn Sweet, or Corn Sweat, who looks exactly like the Clark Kent, aka Superman, we had in the Zack Snyder universe. Am I wrong? Doesn't he look a lot like him?
A little bit.
Looks a lot like him. Like, this motherfucker could be the Witcher in like the prequel series. I'm just saying. Yeah, you should look for sure.
Yeah.
And then the casting starts rolling in. The idea of I think his whole plan for the first phase of the DC cinematic universe is, if I recall, it was Gods and Monsters or something like that.
Oh yeah, Gods and Monsters.
Yeah, something along those lines. And he starts talking about how he's going to have creature commandos. So that's the monster part. The gods, I would say more like Superman. And then they announce what's the series where we get Apollo and the Midnighter and all of those guys. What is that? What's that show? What's the comic book? The Authority. Thank you for all your help, everybody. Appreciate it.
The Authority.
Thanks for backing me up there, Kevin. Yes. So we get The Authority, right? And so, and there's some Wonder Woman stuff in there and yada, yada, yada. But the big thing everybody's talking about, and that's on the tips of everybody's tongues, is the Superman film. Because that's going to be the first one that comes out. That's going to be the one that's going to land with either a thud or it's going to shoot out of a cannon like a bang, and it's going to just
Iron Man in 2008.
Yes, it's just going to rock the world. I think we're going with the latter on this. It's going to rock the world. I think Gunn knows that this is make or break, and he's putting he's putting a lot into it. We're getting the Terrifics, guys. For those that don't know, the Terrifics are finally DC's answer to the Fantastic Four. You have Mr. Terrific, now played by Gathig. Eddie? Goddamn, I'm horrible with names.
Yeah, the guy from
Twilight Days.
The guy from what's the John Cena show? Peacemaker, yeah, it's the head of the.
No, that's not the same guy.
Yeah, it's the same guy. Yeah.
No. Is it?
He was in the second Twilight movie.
Is it the same guy? Is it the same guy? That's what I need to know right now. Is it the same?
Let me check. Let me double check.
No, it might not be. It looks like him though.
I don't think it is. I think
he's from All Mankind. That's where I know him from.
There you go. Okay, so we have him, right? He's playing Mr. Terrific, and then we have Anthony Carrigan. And those of you that haven't seen Barry should watch it.
Oh, he's the best part of that show.
He is the best part of that show. He's playing one of my favorites, Metamorpho. I mean, who also is a team member of the Terrifics. And they haven't announced it yet, but I feel like we're maybe going to get a tinge of, fingers crossed, Ted Kord. Maybe, fingers crossed, a little plastic man that's going to come our way. That could be wrong. A lot of people were talking about the casting of Maloney. What's his first name? David Maloney? Is it David? Come on, guys. Help me out here.
David Maloney.
I don't know who you're talking about, so I
the
can't help you.
comedian Maloney, for God's sakes. Am I the only one on this podcast tonight?
I'm looking at the
John. Are you talking about John Mulaney?
John Mulaney. Thank you. There we go.
You can say Maloney. I'm just confused.
We're not mind reading.
Whatever. Come on. You should be following the casting ideas and the choices for this. You can't blame me for mispronouncing a name. Because I've already did it once.
We kind of can, man. We kind of can.
Okay, fine. Fine, you can. It's fine. But then we get Nathan Fillion, the Golden Boy. James Gunn's the Golden Boy. Nathan Fillion. He's going to be playing. They say online it says Hal Jordan, but I don't think he's playing Hal Jordan. I think he's playing Guy Gardner. I think they've just.
Yeah, it's probably Guy Gardner.
IMDb says Guy Gardner.
Yeah, they just placed it wrong. Google's stupid. Yeah, so Google says Hal Jordan, and that's incorrect. It's definitely Guy Gardner. Isabella, why can't we just have simple names? John Smith, Jerry Wright.
Isabella Marquette.
Isabella Marquette.
Yeah, Marquette. Like, I would know that. I was going to say Merced or Merced.
Wow.
Yeah. Who knows?
I don't know. Who knows?
Rachel Brosnahan. Rachel Brosnahan.
She's the only part only casting I don't like, because I don't see Mrs. Maisel as Lois Lane.
No? Well, what if she does the accent, huh? What do you think of that? Hey, Clark Kent. Hey, how you doing?
I never watched that show and thought, she'd be a good Lois Lane.
You know what? I talked to her and she was like, I don't think he'd be a good Chris Turner. And I was like, wait, he is Chris Turner.
Oh,
he was like, exactly.
Oh,
yeah, right. She just really slammed you, dude. You didn't even know it, and it happened.
Sure,
it's true. It's true.
I guess I'll go kill myself.
No, not yet. Wait.
Wow.
You gotta wait for it.
I can't be myself. I've been bad myself.
You gotta wait for the moment. You only get one shot. So we have this great cast of characters. We have Clark Kent, Lois Lane, Hawk Girl, Guy Gardner, Metamorpho, and then Mr. Terrific. And then we get just today, if I recall, if it was today or yesterday, we get Skins. We get Mr. Skins.
Nicholas Hoult.
And he's going to be playing Lex Luthor. Now, for those of you that are like, oh, God, we got another Jesse Eisenberg situation on our hands. No, we don't. Because if anybody that's gone to Comic-Con knows that Jesse Eisenberg is kind of an asshole.
He was mean to you? He was mean to you?
He was mean to the whole 6,000 people in Hall H. He was kind of a dick.
I've heard that from a lot of people.
Yeah.
What if he was
himself?
A bad day?
He can go fuck himself multiple times on those days. No. You can have a bad day, but you don't piss off 6,000 people in a room bad day. There's a difference. No.
You don't understand. You don't know what he's going through.
No.
Really
You're an actor. It's hard to be an actor. It's hard.
Bonnie, go ahead.
Sorry, really quick. I got to give my hot take on David Cornsweet. And we were talking earlier about how you guys think he looks kind of like a lot like Henry Cavill.
Yes.
I'm gonna say yes with a hint of Orlando Bloom mixed in. He kind of looks like if Henry Cavill and Orlando Bloom had a baby.
You know what? Maybe they did. And I bet you out of the two of them, it was Orlando Bloom that gave birth to that child. Straight up butt baby.
You always love saying that term, man. Butt babies.
But
you know what? I just like getting you to say it. It always cracks me up. Kevin said butt baby. Yeah. I'm 12. What excuse do you want? There's no excuse. I just enjoy it.
He does definitely have that Clark Kent look to him, though. Like he's got.
Yeah. He could be like Corn Fred down home on the farm, Bob Evans kind of a dude. I get it. You get it. We all get it. We see it and we acknowledge it and we're moving forward with it because it's happening.
I like
that. Not much we can do.
I like that I don't know much about the Superman comic books. Sue me. I know. I haven't read many. But so I don't know how close in age Lex and Clark Kent are. But it seems like that that's what they're doing for this, is they're kind of making Lex and Clark kind of similar in age.
Mm-hmm.
Which I kind of like that.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Because I remember when Lex Luthor was played by, what's his name in the Superman movie? He was a bit older. Gene Hackman. He was a bit older than Superman
Gene Hackman was 95 at the time he was cast as, I believe.
So that's all I really like. I have that and I have Smallville to really compare it to. So,
Michael Rosenbaum, an excellent Lex Luthor, excellent choice.
Another choice where they did similar age, and I think it worked well that way.
That was a fun show.
Yes,
I need to revisit it.
I mean, not really the same age. He was a little bit older than Clark, but.
Yeah. Another one that I thought was kind of amazing was the dude that played Lex Luthor in the TV series on Lois and Clark: The New Adventures of Superman. I'm trying to remember his name. John Shee, right? John Shee. Yeah, he played what? No, I'm not. I'm not talking about the master of Kung Fu. God damn it.
Shang-Chi.
John Shea, I believe, or John Shee. I think it's John Shea. Played Lex Luthor in Lois and Clark, and Chris just fell, I think. Played Lois and Clark: The New Adventures of Superman. What a fantastic portray of Lex Luthor. Well, almost as good as Michael Rosenbaum. I would say they were probably neck and neck. I'd put them side by side. Shay, thank you. There we go. All right. Finally had somebody to back me up.
Like Shea Stadium, SHEA.
How was John Cryer as Lex Luthor?
Not my favorite. I would say he wasn't terrible. He was channeling 95-year-old Gene Hackman. Yeah, he was totally channeling Gene Hackman with that portrayal. Now that's fine. Just not my favorite portrayal. Let's just say that. And by the way, I watched what was that show? Pretty in Pink.
Love that movie.
Right, with Ducky. Ducky's in it, right?
Big Pretty Pink, yeah.
Okay, so I watched it thinking it was so I watched 16 Candles first, thinking that was something I'd never seen, and then I saw it because it had Long Dong Duck or whatever his name was in it.
Long Duck.
And I realized I hated that movie, and I still do. I still don't like that movie at all. I think it's trash. But then
with people, yeah.
But then I rewatched, I actually watched for the first time. I watched Pretty in Pink, and I got to realize the plight of Ducky, and wow, that poor dude. Like, just it's heartbreaking watching this guy just like shit the bed repeatedly with a woman, and I don't know. It was traumatic for me, I think, to re-witness this.
You watched it recently?
Yes, like within the last month.
I would have advised against it within the last month.
Well,
wait until you're in a better headspace.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know. I didn't know, so I was like, I'm like crying tears. I'm like, Ducky.
Yeah.
I love you, Ducky. I don't care.
Christy Swanson in the end, so it works out for the Duck Man.
It kind of did in the end, yeah. Work out for the Duck Man, so to speak. It's an interesting thing. Did you know, by the way, in Lois and Clark: The New Adventures of Superman, that Scott Valentine played the character of Metallo?
Ooh.
Yeah. I mean, the cast in here is stacked. Earl Bowen plays Dr. Heller. Scott Valentine is Metallo. We have Michael McKean as Dr. Fabian Leak. We have Tony Curtis as Dr. Mamba. We have Bruce Campbell as Bill Church Jr. Howie Mandel plays Mr. Mixpetalics.
I thought Mr. Misplictic.
Now, we have Roger Daltrey as Taz. Raquel Welch plays Diana Stride. We have Dean Stockwell as Preston Carpenter.
Dean Stockwell.
Yeah. Sherman Helmsley plays the Toy Man, guys.
Ooh.
What the hell?
George Jefferson.
Right. We have Richard Belzer plays Inspector Hendricks, I think, or something. Henderson. Yeah. We have Denise Richards. She plays Angela. I mean, the cast just goes on and on and on. Tony Jay's in there. I mean, Shelley Long plays Lucille Newdrich. It's a really
doesn't Bonnie Tuttle play like a young Lana Lane?
Her.
You got her confused with Raquel Welch, who's plays Diana Stride.
I see.
This girl playing this Isabella Merced or Merced playing Hawk Girl. She was Dora in Dora the Explorer.
That's right.
The movie.
Oh God, I haven't seen that. That'll be interesting. Now I'm not going to be able to get that out of my head. Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Chris. Anyway, what do we think of this casting? Is everybody pleased with it? Everybody's good with the casting overall?
I like the Nicholas Hoult casting choice. I think he's a wonderful actor, and I think he'll do good things with that part.
I think if given the correct direction, which I think Gunn will do,
yeah.
We're in for a treat. We're in for a very unique Superman. In fact, one of the main villains was, I think they said, the engineer or one of the engineers?
Yeah, the engineer.
Which is an interesting choice, and we were talking, at least it's not the primary is Lex Luthor or Zod. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to get something different, which is, I think, tired of it. Which is the most interesting part, and I think it'll be the most fun.
Drive a lot of people in.
That's going to be unique. Yeah, agreed. I think the uniqueness of it will be fun. And I'm stoked for it, and I'm excited, and I hope everybody else is too.
Yeah, it's enough of a draw that it's a new Superman movie, just in general. That's always going to put butts in seats. But the fact that it's an actual new, storyline, new villains and everything, it's not going to be the same old, like, just.
The problem I had with the Henry Cavill one is when in the only Superman film that he did technically on his own, he snapped General Zod's neck. He killed him. And that really bothered me. That sat with me for a while. Really bothered me as far as being a puritist with current Superman runs and understanding the essence of what Superman is. It'd be like Batman showed up in his movie and the Joker was there and he's like, just give me a gun, and he shoots him. How upset would you be with that?
But there is a counter argument though to that though, and I'm sure for Superman 2. He did break his knuckles or his hands, and he did throw him down the shaft and kill him at the Fortress of Solitude.
In Superman what?
2, Superman 2. Remember when the 3...
You mean when he threw them all inside of the Phantom Zone?
No, not the Phantom Zone. You know how they're in the Fortress of Solitude? And I remember where he reversed the energy to make sure he took their powers away when they thought.
But he threw them all in the Phantom Zone.
Not the Phantom Zone. He threw them down.
What are you talking about? He threw his S shield at them, right?
That was before. This is beforehand. This is when they're. This is like the end of the movie. They're in the Fortress of Solitude, and you remember
when he threw his shield at them and they got absorbed into the Phantom Zone, they came back out.
No. Yes, he did throw the S at him, but that didn't take them out though completely. What happened was, you remember how he crushed Zod's
I don't
hand?
remember, Kevin. I haven't seen this since I was 7.
Brother, you got to rewatch it. He technically killed Zod in that movie too.
And my argument for not caring is the fact that I didn't care enough to remember that, so I hated that part probably too.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not a fan of Superman killing anybody, hands down. Superman does not kill. Batman
Highlander kills?
kill.
How come he can't kill?
Who?
Highlander kills, and the boys. How come he can't kill?
Highlander?
I'm sorry, not Highlander. Good Lord, why do I call him Highlander?
Homelander.
Thank you, Homelander.
That's a different thing. That dude's like a Nazi.
Yeah, that's true.
He kills. That's a terrible comparison. God damn. All right. Well, thank you all for listening. Anybody have any last second statements besides Kevin, by the way? Anybody else have any other statements? Bonnie, Chris, anything enlightening or fun that might reverse all the things that Kevin just said?
Well, I think Anthony Carrigan might steal the movie like he does
as Metamorpho
with Barry, just because he's such a amazing character actor, and I don't know much about Metamorpho, but
he's great
as an actor. I think he has potential to just steal the movie.
The funny thing is that Metamorpho is usually just really cranky. He's just like an old man. Get off my lawn. Here, let me turn something into nitrous oxide. And you're like, what? Metamorpho's not like a fun-loving character. At least he wasn't in the 90s. He was definitely a very cranky old dude, which is interesting. So I'm wondering if they're going to go with kind of like the silly, zany earlier version, or if they're going to go with the cranky older version. I'm hoping they go with the silly, but we'll see.
I mean, with the actor, I can definitely see him playing a silly character.
I mean, we're going to get Mahoney to play. No, I'm kidding. I just harkening back to that conversation earlier. But again, I hope it's a great one. I still have faith in James Gunn. I'm going to say it over and over and over again. I think that he's going to do great. What do you guys think? Bonnie, do you believe in James Gunn's ideals and what he's going to do? Do you think he can hammer it home?
I do. I think we're going to get something really fun and entertaining out of it. Yeah, I've got faith. Overall, he's a good director in general. I know he's had some flops, but who hasn't,
Right.
Who hasn't? Christopher Nolan hasn't.
Oh, no, he has.
That's debatable. Yeah.
He absolutely has. Have you not? What was that goddamn movie? We went to see it too, Bonnie, didn't we not? Wasn't it at the drive-in theater during the pandemic? Tenet. That piece of shit, he can lick my ass with that movie. What a turd.
You know,
Kevin, did you watch that? Oh, let him.
He was slapping for that. You insulted that man. You insulted that man.
I was very confused by it in the moment, but I was also entertained. It's just, it was a very.
It's bad. It's a bad movie.
It wasn't the best experience.
Robert Pattinson was slapping.
But I love me some Robert Pattinson. You know, I do. He gave a great performance. I think all of the actors did very, very well.
Michael Caine would be disappointed that you disrespected him.
But the way it was all put together was just really. You'd have to sit through it, I think, 10 times before you actually understand what's really going on.
But why would
you don't want to do that?
But why would Kenneth Branagh and Michael Caine be in this movie? You know, those are quality actors. They
have you seen some of the movies that Kenneth Branagh has directed?
Here's the thing, though. If you can read a script and think that it's gonna, go one way, but then, and you put in your performance and all that, they have no control over how it's really gonna come out. They have no say in what goes on in the room.
Kevin, you're talking about Kenneth Branagh, the same man who made Wild Wild West.
He's not wrong.
Oh, well.
Kenneth Branagh, Kevin, hasn't seen you in a coon's age.
That's true. He hasn't.
Yeah. That's Wild Wild West in a nutshell. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. We very much appreciate it. You all have an amazing day, night, evening, morning, whatever the hell, we don't know. But enjoy yourselves. Use a cast iron skillet if you're going to make some eggs. Get a little extra iron in your diet. That's a little tip. You're welcome. And I want to thank Bonnie for being on. I want to thank Chris, Kevin, and of course, myself. And I want to thank you, the audience, for being here and for listening, being present, just being present. We appreciate you guys very, very much. And if we don't see you out and about anytime soon, perhaps we'll see you
at a stupendous, heroic, but always righteous comic book shop.
This has been The Real Short Box. We'll see you at the comic shop. Thanks for listening.